Hi Michelle, it's Jade here, and I am here to do your reading for the Intuitive Study Group, and this was the mental health spread. So I believe that you didn't have a specific question, you just wanted to do the reading as is, which is more than fine. So the decks that I'm going to be using are the the Mermaid Tarot. And then I'm also going to pull a card from my Angels and Ancestors deck. I've been really loving using oracles lately. So, and this is for what to keep in mind. What to keep in mind for your mental health going forward. Okay. So I'm just going to shuffle these as we talk. So, what to keep in mind. Okay, and the card we pulled is the Lord. So take charge with authority. Okay. Put these over here. So take charge with authority.
I'm gonna have trouble shuffling today. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got 6 cards here. We're using the mental health tarot spread. The first one is represents what your current mental health is. The second question is what you need to pay more attention to. The third question is something you can do to improve your mental health. The fourth card will be how you can find support to help you cope. The fifth one is how you can stay mindful of your well-being. Okay, seriously. And finally, a way that you are growing as a person.
Okay. So your current mental health. Oops. Sorry, I put that upside down. The what you need to pay more attention to. What you can do to improve your mental health. How you can find help. How can you find support to help you cope. How you can stay mindful of your well-being. And finally, a way that you are growing as a person. Sorry. All right. Put these over here. Okay. So let's have a look here. We've got 2 major arcana here out of our 6 cards. All right, so what do we got? The first one was your current mental health. So your current mental health, I pulled for you. I did say I'm using the Mermaid deck, I think. Or I hope. And the Angels and Ancestors. Anyway, so your current mental health is represented by the Knight of Cups. And it's interesting to me because the Knight of Cups is the romantic knight, right? You know, always coming to your rescue, saving the damsel. But the Knight of Cups is also a bit of a, I don't want to say a gigolo, but he's always chasing after something new, right? So he may love someone and he loves that person with all his or her heart, but the minute that something new and shiny comes along, that Knight of Cups will be off. often chasing that new thing, right? Because it's always about conquest. And so I feel like your mental health is right now, you're kind of thinking about it, you know, you're definitely thinking about it, which is great because a lot of people don't think about their mental health at all until there's an issue. But I feel like maybe, you know, things you're reflecting right now, the things are really not bad. Like things are actually in a pretty decent state. And what you're doing now is just tweaking the little things, trying to make things better, but there's nothing really, I don't think you feel like right now there's anything major going on. You just there's little things maybe that are little annoyances that you want to tweak and improve. So maybe that's a mental health practice, just a standard, a regular mental health practice that will further help you to make sure that your mental health is good, is looked after. But I don't feel like you have anything major to look to correct. That is the feeling that I get from that card. So what you do need to pay more attention to. So this is the Four of Cups, and I feel like this one actually really ties in with this card, and that gigolo, I'm sorry for using that word, but what I mean is someone who's always chasing after something new, right? Always trying to make improvements, never accepting the status quo of things, always looking after the new and shiny. And I feel like, you know, what you do have to pay attention to is that sometimes enough is enough. The Four of Cups is usually about emotional stability for me. I know he looks sad and he looks worried, but I feel like you're worrying over like little things, right? There's niggling things that are bothering you, that you're trying to deal with, but I feel like your subconscious mind is actually just telling you that, hey, I'm good, we're good. I'm still in it to win it. You know, we have, you know, you're fairly well connected, and so I think you just need to pay attention to the fact that sometimes what's good enough is good enough. Sometimes you don't always have to fix every little tiny detail because things change from day to day anyway. And just, yeah, sometimes it's okay to be content. Okay, so something you can do to improve your mental health. And again, I feel like this ties in really well. So this is the Queen of Pentacles. I hadn't noticed before actually all the tattoos on her. I'll have to look at the book later to see what the tattoos are all about. But anyway, so what you can do to improve your mental health, I think just recognize that you are a goddess already. You've got it, honey. And just recognize the abundance around you. Keep taking care of yourself. You're doing a fantastic job. Keep taking care of your family and nurturing them. But I feel like you are really on a great path right now. It's awesome. Okay, how you can find support to help you cope. So for this position, so in terms of finding support to help you cope, and I think in terms of the helping you cope is with the niggling things, right? Or the always striving to do better, be better, and sometimes struggling with trying to figure out how to improve those little things, right? Sometimes it's the last 5%. That's the biggest challenge. Or just recognizing within yourself that sometimes you don't always have to improve, right? You can accept the status quo. So helping yourself to cope with that, just recognizing that sometimes, you know, just being content is a good thing. You don't always have to improve things, especially not if it's for other people. And you have that within yourself. You have that ability within yourself. You don't really need anything else. This is the Magician. And don't let your own mind trick you into thinking that you do need to you do need to change when you really don't right now. So how you can find support, the support is within you. So you have, like, I feel like you've got an amazing plan right now. You've got things going really smoothly and you are making those things happen, nobody else. And so keep doing what you're doing, lady. How you can stay mindful of your well-being. Don't let things get too far down the road. This is a pretty graphic picture with the merman face down, bleeding out, the 10 swords in him, and his spirit rising. The 10 of Swords is often about change, right? So you've completed that cycle. You've gotten to the point where, you've gotten to the end of that, of whatever it was. And for me, I think that really has to do with, so again, we're talking about your mental health, right? And your well-being. And I think that you had a plan in place, you enacted it, and now you worried about the little things. You made it happen, and you're at the end of that cycle. So, sorry, I got interrupted there. So what was I saying? Oh yes, completion. I feel like, maybe you went through something really, did you go through something really tough? Through a hard time mentally? Took a lot out of you, and that was why you had to put some structure, and you had to do a lot of work on your mental well-being or your mental health. And to the point, maybe it was because things were so bad at some point that you worry about little things and you worry about letting things backslide. But I think this card to me tells me that you're good. Like, together with all the other cards that we've pulled so far, to me this says, you know what, girl, you are good. You've worked hard. You've gotten to the end. You've dealt with all the swords that were sticking in you, and it's time to rise up and find that passion. Something new may come along for you to deal with, and that's fine. But to me, again, like, this was card 5, which is how you can stay mindful. I think you've gotten to the point where you recognize when your well-being is suffering in some way, and that's not always, people don't always recognize that, right? People suffer without actually thinking about why they're suffering or the fact that they can make a change. And I think you've gone through that. You've gone through that process, and you recognize it. It's second nature now. So time to not focus on it so much. Don't focus on that. Just keep it in mind. Keep doing that reflection. Keep looking into that cup. Keep taking care of yourself. Recognizing yourself and your worth for what it is, and keep taking care of your well-being. I think I think you've been through it, and especially with this next card. Oh my God! So this is the World, and the world represents how, the way that you're growing as a person. And it ties in with this completion aspect, right? So I feel like this is saying that, emotionally, you're growing emotionally as a person. You've gotten to the point where you are extremely in touch with your inner world, especially your inner emotional world. And like, awesome job, right? That is amazing. It's funny because they're wearing different things. Maybe they both have white garments. They both have red hair. They're wearing different headgear. But it looks like the same person. So, I think how you've grown, you've gotten to the point where you recognize when your emotional well-being is suffering, when your inner world is suffering, and you're going to do something about it. You know what to do about it. You know how to go about making changes and doing. You've recognized that you're the best person to address issues and make changes happen in your world. So that's amazing, and congratulations. And it's amazing to me how well these two decks work together, because remember, so the Oracle card is the Lord from the Angels and Ancestors deck, and this card represented what to keep in mind as to how to care for your mental well-being going forward, right? And this is the Lord, and it is take charge with authority, which just ties in so amazingly well with these cards, because you're the empress of your own inner world. You know how to deal with things, you know how to make changes, you know how to make a plan, and you figured out how to make yourself the best person that you can be in terms of your emotional and mental world, and maybe your physical world too. You've been down in the dumps, and you know how to, you've risen from that. And not only did you rise, but oh boy, you took charge. And so this card is telling me that you don't need to do anything different. Just keep in mind, keep mindful of what your inner world looks like. Keep doing that checking, and keep doing what you're doing. So I hope that resonated with you, Michelle. This was a lot of fun. I love when the decks, the reading everything flows really well together. So I really hope it resonates with you, at least in part, and I really would appreciate some detailed feedback. As you know, I'm learning as well, and so I'm trying to, I want to understand where something resonated and where it didn't, so that I can try to improve my own readings. And if there's anything that you'd like some additional insight on, or you want me to pull a couple more cards to clarify something, please let me know. But there's your reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really look forward. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I hope this resonates with you.